Street investors, especially the ones with a lot of money, they will face a higher tax burden under Joe Biden way on tax policy, which I think is a reason that it's so interesting that the market seems unperturbed by the idea that Biden will win. In fact, arguably seems to prefer a Biden win. And I think the idea there is that there are ways that Joe Biden will manage the economy better than Donald Trump would, particularly by ensuring that we have adequate economic stimulus to deal with the coronavirus crisis, and frankly, that we have an adequate policy to deal with the coronavirus crisis itself so the economy can get back to normal more quickly. The market seems more focused on that than the very real likelihood that certain high-income people and certain corporations would end up paying more in tax.
So, Steve Ratner, let's get to some of your charts about the impact, the potential impact of a Joe Biden presidency on the economy. What are you looking at?
So Josh gave me a great lead-in, because it is in fact true that in the category a little bit of man bites dog, and a little contrary to certainly my experience on Wall Street, there is a surprising amount of belief on Wall Street that a Biden presidency would actually be better for the economy and therefore perhaps for the stock market than a Trump presidency. And so you can look at one report from Moody's Analytics that we can put up on the screen that shows what would happen under various scenarios. And you can see all the way on the left, the dark blue bar is what happens if the Democrats sweep not just the White House, but also the Senate and retain the House. And Moody's is projecting 4.2% growth per year over the next 4 years. And then from there, you go to the next kind of best category, which is Biden, but we don't retain the Senate, do retain the House, 3.5%. Trump wins the White House, but the Democrats get the Senate, 3.2%. And then the worst case, in the minds of Moody's anyway, and other Wall Street analysts, is that the Republicans sweep and actually have all three houses, and that produces the lowest rate of GDP growth. And then you can take a look at jobs, and you'll see much the same. You'll see much the same picture in terms of the job creation under a Biden administration versus under a Trump administration on this next chart that's now just on the screen. And you can see that a Democratic sweep produces vastly more jobs, 7.4 million jobs to be precise, than the worst case of Trump retaining the White House and getting control of Congress. And in fact, a Biden presidency would bring the number of total jobs back above where it was before in the next couple of years. A Trump presidency would actually never bring, I shouldn't say never, in the course of 4 years, would not bring the number of jobs back to where it was before. And so that makes Wall Street excited. And to what Josh's point, yes, there may be higher taxes, but Wall Street believes it will be offset by a steadier hand at the tiller, by more stimulus, by better trade relationships with other countries. And then lastly, and this may be surprising to some people, stock market performance under the Democrats has actually been better over at least the last 60 or so years than it has been under the Republicans. And so this chart looks at stock price performance under every president since Eisenhower. And what you can see is that the Democrats have averaged 9.9% growth per year. The Republicans have averaged 6.5% per year. And yes, while it's true that Trump actually has the best stock market of any Republican, his stock market performance is materially worse than stock price performance under Obama and under Clinton. So when Trump sends out tweets saying that a Joe Biden presidency would destroy the stock market, it doesn't comport either with what Wall Street is thinking today, nor with what has been happening historically or even his own performance.